Dog, let me tell you something. The one thing they teach as a criminal, number one, is don't take that deal.
Don't take that deal.
Take that deal as they're setting up the jury, and you'll take. That's the best deal of your life. Just keep telling them no. I kept telling them no. No. They offered me 9 years. 9 years, a felony and a fucking.
And that was a good deal.
It was a violent. It was good. My attorney was like, "It's a good deal." He was a black dude. That was his grandmother was the first black graduate from the law school in Boulder, so he just hopped and played along, and they did whatever the fuck they did. So he comes to me one day. He goes, "They want to give you 9 years for kidnapping, kidnapping 2, which means I would have done all full 9 years." What I did was bait it out. Whenever you get in trouble, you bait it out. The victim disappears. The victim couldn't go up in front of me because the victim had gotten a DUI, and then when he went to the hospital, he broke out and he robbed the pharmacy at the hospital, and he stole the liquid cocaine. So his credibility was gone. Right. He had nothing. I could have held out in front of him for fucking years. So my plan was to get since there was 2 fucking people, they hit him with a public defender, the biker, and they hit me with a court-appointed attorney because there's conflict of interest. That's why you wait for him. If me and Lee get arrested, I wait for Lee to get the public defender first.
And then they got to give you a different one.
Then they got to give me a good one at $200 an hour. That you know what I'm saying? That's the smart move. A lot of people don't know that move.
That's the smart move.
If you get caught in a triangle, always wait for them to get the public defender. You're holding off. You're waiting for the Iranian.
This is educational.
Just hold them off. The Iranian. Who's the?
Is this on PBS right now? This is an amazing.
Keith the cop would be there shaking it down. Who is the Iranian? The Iranian. He's gonna call you. Who's the Iranian? So by the time they put you back in the jail cell, he gets a public defender. Now that means I gotta go up in front of the judge, and they gotta give me a real fucking attorney for $200 an hour, which I'm never gonna pay. The state pays for. I take that dumb fuck and I wear him out for a few months, right? And then I fire him. Then the judge gives me another 30 days to come up with a fucking attorney. That's exactly what I did. So I played Blackula for about fucking 90 days till he came back with it, because I got arrested November 18th. So my shit went through the holidays. I had to sit in fucking court till like the 22nd. I sat in county till my bail dropped. So I was already playing him like a fiddle. They had come to me. The DEA came to me. A bunch of them. I got information, but get me out. You know, I got tons. I know who shot Kennedy.
I got it all.
I got everything.
You just got to get me out of here.
Oh, yeah, just get me out. And then nobody got me out. But the bail dropped to $3,000 cash. Boom, I got out.
All right.
And then I played the game with the attorney for 2 months. Yeah, until he hit me with the 99-year thing. I told him I fired him. That took another 2 weeks in court. The victim snorting coke somewhere in Tucson. He's missing. You follow me? So I'm just stalling for time.
Right.
And then
Time's
I
your
had
friend
the money.
at that
so
point.
now I got 30 to 60 days to get a new attorney. I knew who I wanted, but I didn't pay him. I just kept talking to him, stalling. So what do you think? What can we do? Boom, 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 boom. And then I dropped it on him. I dropped the deposit, and he went to work on him, and he switched to fucking violent to non-violent. He hired a private investigator to look into my past. There was no violence. So they switched it. This guy was that badass, which in turn is why I'm here talking to you.
Oh, shit.
If not, I'd be in a prison with a dress on right now doing the midnight show.
Wow, damn.
So you have to know how to play the court system.
That is some goddamn story.
The attorneys, you could always get a great attorney to buy time. A great attorney, especially in New York, could buy time.
Yeah.
I'm sitting across from Keith the cop, who's he was a real cop, and he was real dedicated. And he knows. He's not stupid. I grew up as the interpreter. See, I grew up in a Cuban house that they did numbers, so I was always the interpreter. So my parents spoke English until the cops came, and nobody hablos. No hablo.
I've seen that before. Yeah.
Spanish people no hablo nada.
Right.
No sé. No sé. Even the little Mexican lady in Man on Fire, remember? No sé, es que no sé. La niña, que niña, no sé. Spanish people don't know nothing. So even when we went to the attorney, my mother's still playing like I don't know nothing. So we had this attorney called Sam DeLuca in Jersey City. Look him up. He's a fucking savage. He's probably cutting deals on people from the grave.
Really?
The last time I Googled him, he was representing the fucking Mondino brothers or something in like a fucking fire case. He was bad to the bone. You always had to show up with suits. You had to bring 2 or 3 suits, and I was always the interpreter. And he would have just, you come into his office, Keith the cop, and he would just tell you, how you doing, Keith the cop? You'd be in charge with 2 counts of bookmaking and 1 of money laundering. Here's the deal. I know the DA's brother on the case. For $200,000, I'll get you 6 months probation.
Oh, jeez,
For
yeah.
$150,000, I'll get you 3 months in jail and 9 months probation. For $100,000, and he would just give you a fucking menu. Okay. Let me know what you want to do. Great
Yeah,
to see you guys.
yeah.
You had a week or 2 to decide what figure you were going to pick. Once you gave him his $200,000, he stalled it. The cops forgot where they put the tickets. The evidence got stolen. It was a fucking scam.
But what happened? Well, I thought it was supposed to be justice.
It's supposed to be justice.
I don't...
But, it's like I'm watching Narcos, and they're showing you this Mexican government that's so corrupt. Jesus Christ. I lived in a government in New York City, which the cops will call you and tell you, listen, we're going to bust you today. Just have a little bit of cash. Have a couple calculators. That's it.
Yeah,
They showed up, they arrested you, they put handcuffs on you. And what a coincidence that in New York City, bookmaking used to be a misdemeanor. It's a felony over the fucking bridge. Wow. Isn't that amazing? That bookmaking is a misdemeanor in New York City. You get arrested for bookmaking, you get a ticket.
Yeah, yeah.
And then if the cops take 1,000 from you, you meet them at the bar and they give you 500 back, and everybody's happy. They make the papers, you make the papers, everybody's happy. You know what I'm saying? You make the police blotter, they make the arrest. It's a fucking system.
Yeah. I don't know. Is it still like that in? I don't know about
I
New
don't live
York.
in New York City.
I think they've really had to clean up.
I
their
couldn't
act.
imagine getting in trouble like a place here.
Yeah.
A place here, everybody's straight laced, but everybody wants a Maserati.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Everybody wants a fucking BMW, so you can make things happen. But I think if you have money, you could basically in any part of the country, you get the best attorney. If you watch the OJ versus show, as the show is a great show, but what you learn is if you have enough money and you hire 3 great attorneys, they'll eat you up alive.
Yeah.
And you put it's like a great basketball team. And I'm not being racist here. I'm just saying the truth. 5 black guys, you go crazy. That's why the Celtics always won. They had Bob Cousy to slow the pace down. You get 4 fucking savages and 1 little Jew to run the show. We're gonna get a not guilty plea. You know what I'm saying? All those years the Celtics were great. Yeah, they had Bill Russell and this guy and that guy. But they always had a little white dude running the show to calm everybody down. Right. Brother, calm down. You know what I'm saying? Brother's going to be all right. He didn't mean nothing by it.
Oh, shit. Yeah, I think that the OJ thing did kind of show that, wow, the money really does
like the
work
Dallas
in this
Cowboys against a high school team.
instance.
It's like me putting the Dallas Cowboys against a high school team.
Yeah, yeah.
I get 3 high-powered attorneys. I got $10 million. I can do whatever the fuck I want. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, yeah.
$3 million deep, you're rolling it.
If that was Tyrone Simpson and he was up for murdering his white wife and her buddy,
would've been electrocuted.
this wouldn't even have been...
They would have electrocuted him at the jail. He would have got electrocuted.
That wouldn't even have been an issue.
Terrible accident.
But
County Jail
OJ, my favorite of that whole trial was the verdict at the end when they acquitted him. And Robert Kardashian, is standing next to him. The whole lawyers, they got OJ there, and the jury says, we find the defendant, Arnold James Simpson, not guilty. And Robert Kardashian, looks down, and you see him on the video. Looks down, he looks over, and you could read his face going, but he's fucking guilty. But he did this. and it just goes to show you what a high-powered, expensive team of lawyers can do. Because that motherfucker was so guilty. What a sloppy murder. You ever watch Forensic Files? It's amazing. These people try to murder someone and not get caught. They do things, and forensic, they find little fibers and everything. OJ just went there, stabs him, slits their throat, blood everywhere, sloppy mess, walks away, leaves footprint, and they don't get him. They can't get him on it. It was the sloppiest murder ever.
They missed 2 key pieces of elements. They missed fingerprints on the gate. It started raining that night.
On his gate, or
That's what a lot of people don't know. It started raining that night. It started raining in L.A. There was like a light drizzle, and they could only get a partial print, and there was some other blood. You know, But they fucking flipped it around. They played the race card.
They made it a race
They
thing.
made the
Yeah.
planting. They just, they just did beautiful stuff. The guy Barry Scheck did great work.
The DNA guy.
He's tremendous. That's the guy you show up
It was
with
amazing.
when things get dangerous.
He's the guy. He went into business after that. I guess he's still in business of exonerating people that have been in prison based on DNA evidence. So he made a whole career out of doing that.
You
It's
walk
great.
into his office, it's 200 G's.
Oh yeah.
Like just to walk in his office, think about it, it's 250 G's. Just to talk to him for an hour.
Imagine.
For him to let you know what he thinks. Like
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
the type. Like you got to dig the trench in the back. You got to dig up grandma's money. You know what I'm saying? Like, what is it going to take for me not to? And he'll break it down for you.
Yeah. What's
He'll
it going to
break it down
take?
for you. He'll go,
It's
this
all
one's
about
going to cost you. I got to get 3 investigators.
I guess that's not the way it was supposed to be. It was supposed to be like, regardless of your wealth or lack of it, you're supposed to be able to get a fair shake. But you're never going to be able to hire those high-powered guys. And I don't even think it's the high-powered guy. It's who they know and who they've paid. And you can have a genius lawyer that knows all the law, but he's got no connections, so you're going to get fucked.
Listen, man, I did time, and I had tons of conversations along the way. We sit around and we goof and we have a good time, but those people don't stand a chance. Keep the cop, you know it. If a white kid gets arrested for possession and a black kid gets arrested for possession, and he's from a fucking socioeconomic fucking hellhole, he has no money for an attorney, he gets a public defender who has a caseload of 190 people who doesn't even know the kid's name. He doesn't even know the kid's case.
Yeah.
So he gets to court that morning and he reads the docket. That's the truth. I've spoken to those
Oh,
guys.
absolutely, yeah.
And what it feels like to have an attorney and to go, wow, I'm still doing time, but I could have done 19 years instead of 4.
Yeah.
You follow me? That's a big difference. That's a good attorney. Somebody who looks at you and said, listen, like I went and met with the law professor at the University of Colorado in Boulder. He was a Spanish dude. He was referred to me by Sam DeLuca. Because when I came out, I knew my plan already. I had grown up in that world, so I knew the stall. I knew the stall method of fucking stalling the whole system. It's really funny. I was telling somebody this story the other day. I got arrested in November of 87. But in July of 85, I moved back to Boulder. And before I moved back to Boulder, this is just to let you people know the level of corruption that there is in this country. In 1985, there was a bank. And when they made a card for Anthony Cumia, they made 2 cards. One went to the bank, and one went to a guy named Lee up in the Bronx.
Shit.
And when you'd call your account in, that guy found out who it was. And they did that all the time. And there was a huge thing in New York at the time. You remember, Keith the Cop, when if it was under $50, I didn't have to call it in?
Under $50?
Yeah, so if we go to a Chinese restaurant and we spend $21 for lunch, they would just put the card on a thing and roll it and give it to you and sign. Nobody's going to look through a book of stolen cards that the letters are this fucking big.
Yeah, back in the old days, that's what they would do.
They made it hard for you to know. Like, even if you look suspicious, even if you had the ID for the guy on the card, there was 1 out of 50 people that would break the credit card book out for the week.
Yep.
And look through the numbers and go, your number don't match the number here. That card's stolen. I call police right now. And you had to run out of the fucking restaurant. But besides that, credit card was a big thing. When I went to San Francisco, it was traveler's checks.
Oh, right, yeah.
Oh, my God. They were like stealing.
Yeah.
They were like stealing.
Just as good as cash.
A guy like you come to me and go, I'm going on vacation. Where you going? I'm going to Peru for a week with the family. How you going to go down there? You getting traveler's checks? Yeah. How much traveler's checks you get? 1,000. I give them to me. Say you stole them. And I'll give you, when they give me 1,000, I'll give you back 5. And you make 500. And I make 500. What's the big deal? I would do that.
We all win.
I would do that all day long.
That's hilarious. See, I don't even think like that.
That's how
I'm not
survived.
saying
That's how I survived.
That's amazing. Like that to
was
me
the hustle.
is brilliant.
10 Planet Kush, it drains the lactic motherfucking acid. People won't cop to it. The health specialists say, no, that doesn't happen, Joey. Yes, it fucking does. I got friends at Harvard, bitch. I'm like Garth Brooks. I got friends in high places, motherfuckers.